My mother told me that when I was born, she knew I was different. Not in a bad way, but just different. I did not like the way my clothes felt on me. I did not like people looking at me. I hated loud noises and loved routine. It became more obvious that I was different as I grew older. My speech was delayed, and when I did speak, it was very monotone. I was fascinated by dinosaurs as all kids are, but I could pronounce their scientific names at a weirdly early age. After much testing, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome at the age of 4. I'm going to talk to you about what Asperger's syndrome is, the negative aspects of having Asperger's syndrome, and finally the positive aspects of having Asperger's. Asperger's syndrome is considered to be high functioning level of an autism spectrum disorder. It is named after Hans Asperger, who studied a group of children who did not lack nonverbal communication skills, but had difficulty understanding gestures, body language, tone, and facial expressions of others. According to Autism Speaks, people with Asperger's, or Aspies, as some of us refer to ourselves, are said to be high functioning. People affected have difficulty with social interactions, tend to have a restricted range of interests, and sometimes have repetitive behaviors. Some of us have motor development issues, or may be considered clumsy or uncoordinated. Because we have speech, Aspies are not as severely involved as others with autism. Boys are 8 times more likely to have it than girls. According to Autism Speaks, people with Asperger's syndrome do not have significant delays or difficulties in language or cognitive development. Some even demonstrate preconscious vocabulary, often in highly specified fields of interest. Some of their behaviors are limited or inappropriate social interactions, repetitive speech, changes with nonverbal communications, above average vocabulary skills, inability to understand social and emotional issues, lack of eye contact, observation with specific topics, and awkward movements and/or mannerisms. Some of the negative aspects with having Asperger's are not always negative to me, but are more often negative to others around me. Social interaction and personal relationships are hard for most of us with Asperger's. Some people with Asperger's syndrome seek help from anxiety and depression. Aspies have a problem allowing others to speak. Sometimes we don't even notice others are losing interest in what we are saying. I have a terrible time reading people's nonverbal body language. Some of us dislike eye contact and will avoid getting it and giving it. I am very literal. According to Autism Speaks, people with Asperger's syndrome may miss humor and other implications. Similarly, they may not instinctually respond to such universal nonverbal cues such as a smile, frown, or come here emotion. Some individuals with Asperger's syndrome have a particular way we speak, but it is not all bad. Many Aspies have a unique gift. We can focus intently on subjects. Some of us will make great surgeons. Many of us take pride in our abilities. Because we cannot lie, we tend to tell the truth a lot. Many people with Asperger's have great memory and recall abilities. Having Asperger's syndrome allows a person to on topics to the exclusion of almost anything else. Based on the profile of Asperger's, it is suspected that many great scientists such as Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, Bill Gates, Lewis Carroll, George Orwell, Alan Turing, Charles Darwin, and Isaac Newton have Asperger's. Others that have been diagnosed of Asperger's include Dan Aykroyd, Tim Page, and Satoshi Tajiri, the creator of Pokemon. In conclusion, Asperger's syndrome is a communication disorder. Some of us are considered weird, eccentric, and geeky. It has negative aspects such as having sensory issues and boring to talk at parties. It has positive aspects such as being smart and intense. I take offense to anyone that says it needs to be cured.